Hi, boys and girls. I'm so excited to read another chapter from Junie B, first grader Cheater Pants with you. Today, we're reading the third chapter, and it's called Twitching. Remember, I said twitching is times when you're like moving because you got something to tell and you're a little worried. Finally, we got to the row right next to mine. That is where Jose and Lenny sit. When Jose's turn came, he smiled, very proud. He said on Saturday his daddy bought him brand new soccer shoes, and he wore them to his soccer game, and he kicked the winning goalie in those things. Lenny went next. He said he got brand new hair gel, plus also he got a thickening cream. Remember, Lenny's the one that has spikes in his hair. He's really into his hairstyle. A thickening cream can even make the thinnest hair feel rich and full, he said. Whoa, I said. Whoa, said Herb and Jose. Whoa is what we say to be supportive. May sits behind Lenny. She stood up and read her paper real loud. This weekend, one thing I did for fun was on Saturday, I made a pot in my pottery class, and after that, I was punctual to my ballet class, and the teacher said I danced like a gazelle. Mr. Scary did a chuckle. A gazelle, huh? He said, a gazelle is a very graceful animal, isn't it? Yes, said May. Would you like to see me do a few steps? After that, she ran to the front of the room, and she started to ballet. But Mr. Scary said to please sit down again. As soon as she got back, I jumped right up. My turn, I said, real thrilled. I tapped on my chin. Okay, let's see now. On Saturday, my grandpa, Frank Miller, came to babysit me, and he also let me roller skate in the house. Plus, also, he let me jump on Mother's bouncy bed. Only pretty soon I got very pooped, and so I ran into the kitchen, and I drank chocolate milk right out of the carton without a glass. Whoa, said Herb. Whoa, said Lenny and Jose. Mr. Scary raised his hand to interrupt me. Excuse me, Junie B, he said. It sounds like you had a great time on Saturday, but I was wondering why you're not reading from your homework paper. Just in my heart got very poundy and nervous because I should have thought about that problem. I swallowed real hard. Well, let's see, I said kind of quiet. Why aren't I reading? Mr. Scary smiled. It's all right, he said. You can start over. Just take out your paper and read us what you wrote. I stood there very frozen. I couldn't even move. Mr. Scary crossed his arms at me. You do have a homework paper, don't you, Junie B? He asked next. I stood a while longer. Then finally, I reached down into my desk. Oh no. See, remember, guys, what did she do? She wrote down May's homework. So if she reads what's on the paper, it's going to sound just like May's. I pulled out my homework that I copied from May. I waved it in the air, kind of weakish. Here it is, I said. Here's my homework paper. See it? It's right here. Mr. Scary nodded. Yes, good. Now you can read it to us. Please? He asked. I took a deep breath, and I looked down at my paper, and I read it silently, just to myself. Okay, done, I said. After that, I quick sat down, and I stuffed the paper back on my desk. Mr. Scary came back to where I sit. He said, could he please see my paper? I felt shaky and sickish inside. Very slow, I took out the paper again, and I handed it over. After he read it, he shook his head. Then he took my hand and walked me into the hall. I wonder what he's going to say. Is Mr. Scary going to yell at Junie B. Jones? Is he just going to talk to her about the importance of having her own work and not copying from others? It seems that you and May had very similar weekends, doesn't it, Junie B? He said. I did a gulp. Yes, I said, it does. Mr. Scary read my paper once more. So you take pottery class, do you? He said. I rocked back and forth on my feet. Yep, I do. I said, I take a pottery class and I make little, well, pots. Mr. Scary breathed real deep. And let's see, you take a ballet class too, huh? He said. And gee, what a coincidence. On Saturday, your teacher said you dance like a gazelle. I said very fast. Gazelle, said Mr. Scary. Whatever. My teacher sucked in his cheeks and looked at the paper again. And you were punctual too? He said. That's amazing, isn't it? I looked up at him. Oh, what do you know? Now, not if you get me an early start, I said real soft. Mr. Scary bent down next to me. His face was not jolly. Junie B. Jones, do you have any idea how disappointed I am right now? Just then, tears came in my eyes. I didn't expect that trouble. I quick hanged my head so he couldn't see. There's Mr. Scary talking to Junie B. Jones. You can see by his face that he's not angry, but just a little bit sad and maybe some frustration too, because Junie B. Jones isn't being honest in this moment. And she said tears are getting in her eyes, so she's hanging her head down so Mr. Scary can't see. Sorry, I said. Sorry, you're disappointed. Mr. Scary took a deep breath. He said we could talk more at recess. Then he gave me a tissue from his pocket, and I wiped my tears. After that, we went back into the room. I sat down at my desk, very slumping, because what do you know? I didn't look out after all. This makes me start wondering, is May going to find out what happens? And how do you think May might react? Think about how she reacts to a lot of things. It's got me thinking, how would you react if a friend copied your homework? Would you be mad at them? Would you feel sad that maybe that friend forgot and this was their only chance? Something to think about. Well, I love you all so much, sending big virtual hugs, and I'll see you all real soon.